Welcome back to Take Action News with David Shuster. This is executive producer Daniel Marins, once again guest hosting this Saturday, June 15, 2013, with my co-pilot, Cole Stangler, a staff writer for In These Times. We have breaking news to report right now from Turkey in that the government of Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan had threatened to close down the encampments at Gezi Park in Taksim Square in Istanbul. They said that they were going to do it tomorrow on Sunday, but they have begun doing it in a nighttime raid, it appears. They are coming in with tear gas canisters, clearing out the tents. There are live streams of this going on as it occurs. This comes days after the protesters and the protest leadership had negotiated a deal, apparently, with the Prime Minister's government, suggesting that at least some folks in leadership had accepted Erdogan's plan that he would accept his proposal, that he would accept the court ruling on whether the government had the authority to destroy the park and build the shopping mall that they were planning there, and as well that he would hold a referendum after that, even if the court ruled against the protesters. Many protesters then determined that they would continue to stay despite the compromise that was reached. The president, who serves in a less powerful role, but has served as kind of a good cop figure in all of this, President Abdullah Gül of Turkey, said essentially after this agreement was reached with at least some of the figures from Taksim Solidarity and these other groups, open channels for meetings and dialogue is a sign of democratic maturity. I believe this period will produce good results. But he said that everyone should now return home. And he did that from Twitter, which has been played a crucial role in communication throughout this protest period these past 2 weeks. We've also seen a government representative named Hüseyin Çelik say, if the issue is about the environmental concerns, respect to the green, all of these messages have been taken, necessary assessments have been made. From now on, prolonging this any longer just spoils it. Now, of course, the protesters claim that this protest turned into much more. The mere fact that the Prime Minister Erdogan, was intervening in such an active way in what should really be a local Istanbuli issue was a symbol of his authoritarian nature, someone who wanted to extend his leadership indefinitely, switch to a presidential role and an empowered presidency, someone who would crack down on the press, dissidents, that he had fined CNN Turk back in 2009 for being critical of him, $2.5 billion, which was nearly all the money that they were worth or made. This became something much bigger than just the park. We also know that recently there was a funeral held in Ankara for the 5th protester who was killed, hopefully the final protester, though we can't say that for sure. His name was, and Cole, I'll bring you in just a moment, his name was Ethem Sarısuluk. He was killed in protests in Ankara, the capital city of Turkey. 26-year-old worked in his brother's wedding business in the capital city of Ankara. An actual bullet, was found in his. It was either it was a piece of metal. It was either a bullet or part of a tear gas canister. We believe now that it was a bullet was removed from his head. It's believed a live ammunition that was used on him. He was killed by police. His mother blames Prime Minister Erdogan. Tayyip made brother kill brother. I'm not blaming the police. The police are also our children, but Tayyip gives the order. Tayyip is, of course, the middle name and the name that Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan goes by most often in Turkey. And I can also say that report that the mayor of Ankara, in a show of support, perhaps particularly nasty, to throw salt in the wound with Prime Minister Erdogan, hung a banner praising the police on the site where this figure was killed in Ankara, and tomorrow is his funeral. But the mayor of Ankara hung a banner praising the police once again where Ethem Sarısuluk was killed. It's too early to say just how deep these divisions will run in Turkey in the coming months, if and when this protest movement does die down, how it will affect the Erdogan government. There's already talk that the European Union, which condemns some of the use of police brutality, if Turkey were still to want entry into the European Union, this might pose greater difficulties for them. But it appears as of now that the Erdogan government has maintained its hold.